Kia ora, and welcome to this tutorial video on inserting a table in your document. In this video, I'm going to add a table, change the number of rows and columns, and talk about text wrapping inside and outside the table. So to add a table, you just click in your document and create a space, and then you go to the Insert tab and find the table icon. When you hover over the cells, you'll see that Word is automatically going to try to do a table for you in that size, and it automatically, no matter how small or large, is going to go out to the margins. Just want you to notice that. So I'm going to choose a 3 by 3 table and just put that into my document. Don't worry about how many rows and columns you have. Changing this later is very easy. When I'm clicked inside the table, I can see the Table Tools Design and Layout tabs up above, and the Layout tab is the one I'm going to use to change things about this table. But before I do that, I'm just going to put in some text so that you can see the changes I make. When I want to move between the cells, I'm pressing the Tab key. When I get to the very end of the last cell, pressing Tab again is just going to give me another row. So I'm using Tab to move my way across this entire thing. Okay, so let's have a look back on that Layout tab. If I want to add new rows or columns, I can just click on any cell and then choose Insert Above or Insert Below, etc. I can also, in Word 2013, go over to the left margin and just click, and that will add a row. Or if I go to the column tops, I can click there and get a new column. Now just notice this, right now I've got 6 cells selected. If I choose Insert Above, I'm going to get 6 rows. And if I've got 4 columns effectively selected, inserting to the left will give me 4 new columns. So just be aware of that when you are putting things into your tables. It's really easy to resize them. Now look at this. This still is crammed inside of the margins. It will work, but as soon as I start deleting columns or deleting rows, I'm just going to click out to the left and then choose to delete those rows. It's now smaller than my margins. It's going to automatically not fit there really anymore. I'm just going to also point out something else to you. If you are selected on something and you press the delete key, you're only deleting the contents. But if I use the backspace key, backspace is going to delete the entire thing. So that's taking out the columns and rows. So to reset this table back out to the margins, I could use this auto fit setting, and that will auto fit it back out. If you feel like there's too much white space in there and you can play around with your distribution of text, you could just set it back to auto fit contents. So just notice that's another possibility. Or if you're out here in auto fit window, you can also distribute the columns to make sure they're exactly the same, etc. Now, if you have a row that has got information that doesn't fit in the column, Word has a tendency to resize the entire column to fit that word. So something you can do to stop that from happening is setting the auto fit to fixed column width. And now, no matter what I do, that will automatically do text wrapping instead. The other thing you can do is you can just drag your columns to exactly where you want them to be, and then Word will tend to use the text wrapping then as well. So that's text wrapping inside of a cell. What about outside of the table? This table isn't quite as big as my margins, and I don't think I want it to be. I may want to go in here and still do that distribution of the columns, but when it's not quite big enough to fit out to the margins, we should really center the table. So you've got a couple of choices for how to do that. You can click on this little marker here, and while you have the whole table selected, you can go to the Home tab and then just change the paragraph setting so that it's centered. Be careful though when you do this. Sometimes when you just select the cells, you end up just centering the text. The other thing you can do, I'll just undo that one, is if you're clicked anywhere inside and you go back to the Layout tab, you can go to the Properties and then set the table properties to center. Whatever you do, you really should never change the text wrapping to around. This does cause all kinds of problems. But setting it to center, it's now where I'd like it to be. So that's all for this video on inserting tables. Thanks for your attention. Kia ora.